11 days here. So James, you said you're over in Idaho right now doing some training?
Yeah, I'm over here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's a nice little 4-hour drive from hometown in Seattle. Love bouncing back between these two places. Great environment here, and back in Seattle. Both great places to train.
So is that a CrossFit gym there, like CrossFit Coeur d'Alene, or?
Yeah, there's an awesome CrossFit gym. It's CrossFit Coeur d'Alene. There's actually a couple of masters athletes who work out here that my dad also likes to train with because he's going to the games this year.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, tell me about that. How pumped are you for your dad?
Oh my gosh. Words can't even describe it. He has been working so extremely hard over the last 4 to 5 years because the last time he went was 2016. And he's been just on the cut every year, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. And now finally he gets his opportunity to go shine. And I can tell all the masters out there, this guy works extremely hard. And I think he's one of the hardest working masters athletes I know. And he just never gives up on himself. And no matter what comes out, he's ready for it.
And because how old is your dad? Is he in the 60, 64 or 55 to 59?
Yeah, he's in the 55 to 59. He made it his goal this year to get back because he aged up. And so he doesn't have to do a bunch of the crazier weights. They're still very heavy, don't get me wrong, but kind of take it down a little bit for them. He's just having so much more fun with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you guys get to train together quite often?
Yeah. So I actually, I just made a post on Instagram yesterday. I'll bring him in to do some of my workouts with me. And it takes a lot to convince him now because he hates the workouts that I do. But when I do get him in, we have a lot of fun together. After the season's over, I'll probably jump in and help him a little bit, with games training and everything. But we do get to do a good amount together, which is awesome.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So James, would you say your forte, like your money spot when it comes to like competition type things, it's more of the aerobic or longer duration kind of workouts?
For sure. I'd say in the past, I just love anything that's really grindy and requires a lot of suck. The suck factor, I just love anything that just makes you feel like you want to quit. Because I feel like I'm good at pushing through that and knowing that there's going to be an end. One of my favorite quotes from Fraser is that you can take the easier, the hard route. In 10 minutes, you're going to feel the same way after the workout, whether you give all out or you give half effort, you're going to feel okay. So I try and remember that whenever I'm in a sucky piece.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a strong one right there.
For sure.
So you, was it 2016 when you went to when you were in Wisconsin, 2017? 2017 that you won or you first finished, and you're the number one finisher in the team division, right? When you ran out to the water, came back, swam.
Yeah, so we had that was actually like our first event of the weekend, and it was so much fun. It was a kickoff to the career, and it was like I was just actually looking at a video last night with my dad, and I'm like, this is where the addiction started. And it was like a 1.5 mile run, 800-meter swim, then a 1.5 mile run. It was just such a fun event. Madison strong.
Yeah. And so did you beat all of the male athletes, even in the open division?
So there would have been one guy who beat me, and it was by a few seconds. It was Brent Fikowski. So right there on him. But I think if I would have been pushing next to him, it could have been pretty cool. But I think I took the second run a little bit more chillaxed to conserve for the rest of the weekend. Just because knowing like you don't have like 100 points is 100 points. So it's like if you can take a little chill pill, do it to conserve yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
So is swimming something you've always kind of been dialed into, or?
Yeah, so I actually did swim team. I'm so glad my parents got me enrolled in swim team. At first the idea sounds sucky. Like, I don't want to do this. Like spending my summer mornings waking up early and going to 2-hour practices. But did that for 6 to 7 years. And I did it with a couple friends, and it was just a summer. But it really taught me fundamentals of swimming and how to be comfortable in the water. So I love that CrossFit's incorporating swimming a little bit more. They still have a couple events to announce, so I'm praying there could be something off-site, but the odds are slim. But it would be cool. It would be cool.
You're saying for the Nevada semifinal?
Yeah, for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are it's all indoors though, right? Currently.
Yeah, they said there's a chance that there could be something off-site.
Okay.
Would make us way more run. But they only have 3 to announce now, so it's like, you know, the odds are getting slimmer, and the fact that there's a lot of spectators coming, I think it'd make it harder for them to like really put that on for the spectator. I bet we'll stay. I'll bet we'll stay in one place.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're right now you're still in school, correct?
I finished last night.
Oh, nice.
But,
last final?
Yeah, so at my last final, I had a little group project. So I'm going to UW, University of Washington, and it was all online this year. Finished up my first year as a freshman. So one in the books.
Man.
Yeah.
And what is you're going to school for?
So I wanted to enroll it's a school called Foster's Business School at the University of Washington. It's really, really hard to get in. They take like 1 out of every 200 applicants. Didn't get in there this year. So I'm putting my efforts toward nutritional science and a little bit of Spanish.
Okay.
And then some economic stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And is your Spanish pretty good?
Me gusta hablando mucho. Necesita muy trabajo para ser más bueno hablando. You didn't know what I just said,
Sounds
did you?
pretty reasonable, man. I would have known what you said about 20 years ago, but not now.
Hey, it needs work. It probably was ingrammatically correct, but I tested into a level that's like indigenous speakers, and I do not belong there for next year. And I'm like, I shouldn't be here. But you know what? If the test says I should be there, we'll give it a send.
So have you been to many Spanish-speaking countries?
You know, first time actually in Mexico. Went to Cabo in December, which was amazing. Went with my family. It's a nice little getaway. And it was perfect timing because I just came back from Florida, which was a training camp with my coach and all my stud friend athletes. If you just saw Emma Carey compete at the Grand Games, she was there. She trains with my coach. Then my friend Dallin, who trains with my coach, tutor, and a couple other stud athletes were there. So it was a week of him just beating us up. So it was really nice to go to Cabo then and just like relax. Yeah.
I mean, how is it? So how is it training with all those other teams? I mean, you guys are kind of rivals, right? You all want the top spot, but at the same time, you guys are all hanging together too.
Yeah, we all just want the best for each other, but we all want to win. So when you put us in the same room, it's like best friends first. But obviously, you know, we are there for one thing, like we all want to win the CrossFit Games one day, and so we bring out the best in each other, and that is why we are possibly moving to Florida all together, February 2022. It's still in the works, but it's quite possible it's going to happen. We're going to start like an epicenter, like ComTrain did with Boston, with Sam, and where else? We got Training Think Tank in Georgia, and we got Mayhem in Tennessee, like that type of thing. We're trying to start that for Brute Strength in Florida with our coach, Matt Torres.
Gotcha. So how often would you go and train with these guys right now?
So, you know, it depends on who it is. So I've only trained with Emma once, and that was in Florida. All the other guys, we did the Florida training camp, and then we did a training camp here in Seattle back in January. We're all best friends. And then I train with multiple times a week because we only live 20 miles from each other. And then Dallin, I've been to Utah. Tudor and Dallin, definitely my best friends. They're awesome. And so I go to Dallin's quite often. I was just there in April for his wedding, and it was amazing, and got to train with him there. So I get to train with them quite often. I'm very blessed to have this for them. Yeah.
So Emma Carey, where do you think she is on the? I mean, she's only 17. I mean, she was crushing it. This past weekend. Where is she on that spectrum? Can she get like top 10 at the games? Can she podium? What do you think?
You know, so Emma actually just started working for my company, and she is one of the most driven people you will ever meet. She is all business. I tell everyone that she's all business. She's there to get the job done, and she loves what she does. She has such a big heart. And I personally think, calling my shot right now, she is going to give Tia a run for her money this summer. Wow. There was one thing at Granite Games that exposed her, and it was her overhead stability with dumbbells. And she's going to work that to the brim this next month. And I can just tell the world that like you didn't see the most of Emma at that competition. Like even though she got third, which is incredible, my God, punch her ticket to the games, 17-year-old. She is going to do things that people aren't gonna expect. So we'll just put.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Can she run? Can she swim already? Those kind of things.
So yeah, actually in Florida, we did a 5K run on it was like kind of through this like majestic jungle trail, and it was like our last like event of the weekend before we took off back home. And Emma was hanging with me on the 5K run, and I'm a good runner. Like I'm a long guy. I'm 6'2". I'm skinnier. Like I should be a good runner. She was hanging with me for majority of the time.
Wow. Wow.
Which was, I was like, slow down, slow down. Slow down, girl. But yeah, she's got everything. She's dialed. She's dialed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys ever chime like your mile or anything?
Oh, have I tried it next to them or just personally?
Just personally.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit since I've done a mile time trial. Been doing a lot of 5Ks on that assault runner lately because that's what I think we're gonna get at the West Coast. But last time I did a mile, I got a 5:19.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Not as fast as my brother. He's a 4:26. He's a collegiate runner. He's really good.
So the assault runner, is that like your 5:19? Is that 5:45? Is that 5:30 on that thing? 6 minutes?
Oh, way slower. If you run a sub-7 on the assault runner, you're a freak for a mile. So my 5K actually, first time I did it was 27 minutes on the assault runner, but on the road, it's right around 18 minutes. So add half more time to your run, almost type of thing. Or take, it depends on the person, but I think that assault runner, it's gross. It's really gross.
And is that a lot of it? I mean, you feel like there's a lot of technique to that assault runner, or do you feel like that's just how it is?
You know, I've been picking my brother's brain on this question because I want to be as prepared as possible. And he says it's like you strike more midfoot on that and get more quad drive kind of. Like you really have to focus on pulling the kind of floor with you instead of just off the floor. Kind of interesting. So it's a little bit different technique, that's for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So James, you read books, you listen to podcasts, you do any of that kind of stuff?
Just started getting into podcasts a couple months ago. I have been so run over with school, business, and training that I haven't had much time to really have me time. And now that I'm finally getting done with school and kind of taking a little bit of a step back from too much business right now, I'm looking into finding some new ones. So if you ever have anything to recommend, like I'm to all ears.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're so you do this next gen programming, right?
Yes.
And what exactly is that?
So I started this company back in March 2020 during the whole pandemic, and it was a mission to help people train smarter, move better, and live longer. And my mission just came from me not knowing what I wanted back in the day and not having a passion or purpose in life. Like I felt like I was just lost, and fitness was that thing that helped me find courage, confidence, passion, just gave me something to invest my time into. So I wanted to show everyone in the world, no matter your experience, your skills, your age, your background, that movement is empowering. And so it's my goal as a coach to help people find what they individually need in the gym, outside of the gym, what kind of movement can best benefit them, and just help them find that confidence that I have.
Nice. And is that more remote, or is that in person, or both? Or
so it just me and my dad actually 1 year ago yesterday opened up a gym. So it's like 1 year anniversary, and it's in his old Allstate office, Pat Sprague Allstate. That's his Instagram. We brought all our gym equipment into there and just started training ourselves in there, and then realized like, hey, like this could be a great platform to do some in-person training with people too. So I have 9 different in-person groups right now, and Each of them come in once to twice a week. And so I'm just working Tuesdays and Sundays right now, which is not much. I wish I could be working more. And after the season, I'm trying to do 4 to 5 days a week because I just love it so much and it makes my heart so whole.
Nice. So if you weren't pumping yourself into your training right now, because that's like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, kind of 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day.
It's been the last couple days just because we're getting so close, only 3 to 4. But some days it can be 4 to 6. I'll never go past the 6. Some people say 6 to 8. I'm like, how? Like, I don't get it. Like, my body's broken by then. There's only so much you can do to make it beneficial. A lot of what CrossFitters do is go really hard, then rest really hard. Go really hard, then rest really hard. So it's not like when someone says they're in the gym for 6 hours, guarantee you they're not working out more than 1/3 of that time.
Yeah. So if you weren't pumping all your time into that, then you'd be pumping it more into the next gen programming.
Yeah, I'd be pumping it more into next gen programming, and more time with friends. I miss seeing people. Obviously, my friends really understand my commitment, but I miss being able to hang out and just go do wild adventures like any teenager would. You know, I'm still a kid at heart, even though I'm 19. Like I love trying new things and just exploring wilderness. Like I do that a lot more.
Cool.
Just getting out. Yeah.
So have you gotten up and hiking around? I mean, there's plenty of places to hike in Washington.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's actually Mount Si right next to my house. If anyone's ever out here, people will probably Snoqualmie Falls as well. You've heard of Snoqualmie Falls?
For sure. Yep.
Yeah, so that's literally right next to my house. So Mount Si is an amazing hike. Love doing that. My brother's an insane hiker. He tries to set all these records on this app called Strava. And it's really funny because they'll like have certain hikes and he'll like just sprint up them and try and get these records. So he's a hiking fanatic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And your brother's older than you, correct?
Yeah, he's 18 months and he's amazing. He's just overall like super invested in athletics like I am. I tell him, I'm like, dude, we have a fit family. Like sometimes I feel like the least fit out of my family. Like these guys they're awesome to be around. They bring out the best in me, that's for sure.
And so, James, what do you eat for breakfast?
You know,
CrossFit perennial all-star.
It's like a flapjack pancake in a cup, and then I add some like oatmeal squares and some fruits, or I usually do avocado toast with some eggs, rice, arugula, which is my favorite vegetable, and then some turkey, and then a bunch of other toppings. Like, so it's one of the 2 breakfasts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, are you so do you follow like some eating program, or you basically just feed your body, kind of fill your body out and feed it?
I worked with CBG Nutrition for a long time, and I still connect with Justin, the owner of the company. And I follow a diet called intrinsic dieting, which Justin helped me create. So basically have a guideline of what macros I need to hit and eating times and when it's best to put what nutrient in your body. So learning a lot about that, I really love helping people with nutrition as well. So definitely follow a plan. Definitely try and hit goal numbers each day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Has your so say since you were 17, 18, 19, is your weight increased or?
Yeah, so I actually it's been very fluctuative. I have a very weird body weight because during football I got up to 225, and that was 2019 fall. So that was the heaviest I've ever been. Right now I'm sitting at 200. And let's see, last time I was under 200. Like I haven't been under 200 in a long time, like consistently. Probably 2018. I went from really skinny in 2018 after my knee surgery. And after my knee surgery, I just decided to eat a lot of food and do curls all day, and then gain like 30 pounds from there. Yeah.
So do you feel like the current weight, do you feel like you can just, that's a really solid weight for you? That's like your current body set. You feel like, man, I can maintain this and just get denser essentially?
Yeah, I like where I'm at for this competition right now. Just knowing the variety. I like to be lighter for gymnastics. I like to be lighter for fast cardio movements. And I like to be heavier for weightlifting. So it's finding a fine medium as a CrossFitter. Definitely being taller. I am a slimmer build, than some of those. Like if you see my friend Dallin, he has freaking, how do you even describe it? He has turtle shell abs. He's got no ulcer. Like, I like, we have different builds, but
Yeah.
you know, one thing about CrossFit can be deceiving. The most jacked person usually isn't the most fit person. You saw Fraser. Yeah, like he wasn't the most jacked on the field, but he could get the job done.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So do you feel like you've maintained your athleticism with all the increasing strength gains and all that kind of stuff that you've been doing with CrossFit?
I think if you're defining athleticism as like overall fitness, heck yeah, I feel more confident than ever, and I'm ready to showcase the work I've been putting in. And I think that for me, since through this quarterfinals, I qualified in 121st, and they only took 120. I told myself if I slid in to that top 120 because of anyone's scores being invalid or people going team, that I had to make the most of these 2 months and really just understand that I was meant to be there. So I've really been trying to be a student of the game, and just every decision has been revolved around this West Coast Classic coming up. So I'm hoping that all that work shows off, even though there's so many up and coming guys at this competition. I think this is the competition of the underdogs. So many guys there that should be at the games that haven't yet. So 3 people like me, which I love. Yeah.
All right, James. So anything else that you'd want to let people know about yourself or about what you do, or?
You know, I do everything for the glory of God. First off. Second off, I would not be able to do this journey without like my amazing family and sponsors like you guys. Elite Fuel has helped me so much. Just hone in on my health and really be fueled for my sessions and recover from my sessions. Let's see, you know, I'm just really excited for everything that's up and coming. There's nothing better than getting out on that floor, and I'm eager to see what happens. And
would you say that, are you going to enjoy, like, when you walk out on the floor in Vegas, is that like, this is like gonna be wow, I'm so excited, there's like pure joy happening, or is it like, man, I want to go to the game so bad that I'm just feeling super nervous about it? Or
it's a mixture of both. You got to harness both sides in order to do well. If you're overly excited, you're not strategizing enough, in my opinion. So it's like, I need to make sure I'm zoned in, but also like remembering like this is it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity. I could wake up the next day and not be able to use my body. So it's like just being grateful and using it to drive my energy, saying, hey, like, you're here right now and you're able to do this right now. So why not make the most of it?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, James. So we're going to be pulling for you massively. Can't wait to see what you do out there. You just give your best, forget the rest. And then, we'll see what happens.